It is a great day for America. It is a great day for Canada. It's a great day for the world we live in, because today was the day that Scott Q. Henson and myself found God. Okay. God was proven to be real to us today.
At the risk of sounding insensitive, because that's not my intention, a lot of the day thus far has been devoted to hit Netflix series Love on the Spectrum, and they under the guise of being inclusive and tasteful, have been able to get away with making the most disgusting and exploitative show in the history of television. So I do respect that. But it's just taking poor autistic people who don't understand how human emotions work and slapping them together on dates and just being generally very mean. And what they did with one particularly autistic guy is they set him up with a girl with Down syndrome because, to
them,
they're all the same, I guess. And while watching the girl with Down syndrome, I thought of other disgusting exploitative show born this way, which is Love on the Spectrum, but Down syndrome instead of autism. And I'm like, it honestly is remarkable how they got all those Down syndrome people to look exactly the same. That's honestly the best proof of God I've ever seen. You might even call it unintelligent design. And that's the show. We will Drew's double fist bumping.
Well, because we said it off air, and I was like, "Oh,
why are you wasting good stuff?
Why are we using all of this comedy gold on just the two of us? There should be a lot more going on."
So yeah, this is another one of those episodes where we have content, but
we're gonna skip it.
But also there's other stuff. Like, I could talk about Love on the Spectrum for a very long time.
We could do an entire...
And I'm not done talking about the tunnels.
No.
The tunnels are the most fascinating... is it hyperbole to say they're the most fascinating thing that have ever happened?
They're the most fascinating thing. They are the most culturally important things ever involving underground passages.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, and I don't disagree.
Slaves escaping the South? No. How about a bunch of weird Jewish guys maybe molesting kids? Way more important.
Certainly more interesting.
Definitely more interesting.
Yeah.
What are you running away from? You were going to get freed anyways.
I don't know if they knew at the time. I think they were just trying to get out ahead of it. I don't so you have taken the stance of anti Underground Railroad. That's where you're at.
I just think that they put a lot of time and effort into doing something that ultimately was just going to work itself out at the end.
Did you know it wasn't even a railroad?
Oh, I see. This is autistic Scott complaining that
there weren't even trains.
The trains weren't even there.
There weren't even trains, and the trains didn't have faces on them, so you could help understand emotions, flashcards, autism, back to Love on the Spectrum, full circle.
That's Back to Love on the Spectrum, because in the Australian one,
yeah,
there's the guy Michael who loves Thomas the Tank Engine,
yes,
and one of
Drew,
I know, but he openly admits that he loves Thomas the Tank Engine. And the girl he's on the date with says, "Well, who's your famous Thomas character?" And he goes, "Oh, I could never choose. There's so many."
Even Percy?
Especially Percy.
Oh my God.
And don't even get me started on Sir Topham Bottom.
No. I do like Sir Top and Bottom.
Isn't that sound like a very old British name? Like, I always used
It
to
sounds
think...
like an alternate name for the Monopoly Man.
It does. Staying on trend here of Love on the Spectrum, but also because we're on the spectrum. This is us revealing that we're both on the spectrum. I always think about, in Back to the Future 3, where he goes back to the Old West.
Because I've only seen 1 and 2.
And
I didn't see 1 and 2 until I was in my 30s.
So, like, 40 years ago.
A long time ago. I didn't see them until I was in my 30s, and it was in the theater, and they were premiering. Correct.
So, Marty goes back in time to 1888.
So, I know.
Marty! Don't fuck your mom, Marty. All right, do it.
Don't knock her up.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Don't blast inside her. Pull out and put it on her tummy.
Yeah.
So when he goes back, he obviously, I can't tell them his name is Marty McFly because he meets his ancestor and his ancestor's last name is McFly. So he goes, my name is Clint Eastwood.
Nice.
And like then they call him Mr. Eastwood for the rest of the thing or whatever. Anyways,
I said Clint Howard.
The good Howard.
Yeah.
The attractive Howard.
Not anymore.
No. Clint is the attractive one.
What a state of affairs the world is in now. Ron Howard looks like Clint Howard.
But I always used to think about like what is the most insane name that you could call, like if you went back in time. Let's say you got Kid in King Arthur's court,
sure.
Tid, and you need to come up.
I'd like to be courted by King Arthur.
Doable.
Pop that sword out of the stone. Now give me a kiss.
Is that a euphemism for pulling his dick out of your butt? You call your butt the stone?
Only the true king can do it.
There you go.
Only a true king.
Only a true king can do it. So yeah, I always think about what the most only to myself and would make no sense to anybody else. What is the funniest name I would tell everybody? Like, if you go back, you're not going to say like, oh, my name's Drew Smith.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, what's your name, sir? And it's like, yeah, like, people call me Sir Top and Bottom. But like, I always think of like, what is the funniest thing I could use that they would have no clue is like a joke. They would just think is my real name. And so I would probably just call myself N-word. I'm N-word of the family N-word.
N-word son.
And then people would just call me the N-word.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yes.
So you'd have to go back to a pre-N-word time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I guess King Arthur.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Old West. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they had that in the Old West.
It was invented in the Old West.
If not invented, then at least perfected.
Perfected, yeah. But yeah, you go back in time and then you're like,
that's true.
What do you call yourself? I'm like, well, I've always wanted somebody to call me the N-word. And then I could meet a nice lady.
Well, I've always wanted a black guy to call me the N-word because then I know I'm cool.
That's true. I could meet a nice lady, and when we get married, I can say, now I'm your N-word.
And of course, she would take your name.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary N-word.
Gwendolyn N-word.
Gwenword.
Gwenword. Perfect.
Isn't that a SpongeBob character? We're having fun. First 10 minutes business taken care of because we're the professionals.
Who are we?
Leon.
Leon the professional?
Yeah. I'm Scott.
I'm Leon the professional.
Perfect. It's the Scott and Leon show.
I'm Drew.
Which one of us will fuck child Natalie Portman? The answer may surprise you. Leon. I would get nervous.
You wouldn't be able to perform. You'd be too excited.
The 14-year-old Natalie Portman.
Yep.
We'd have to
Well, come on. Knowing what she turned in, it's like the conversation we've always had.
Yeah.
If you're married,
yes,
is it okay to jerk off to
yeah.
pictures of your wife as like a teenager or child?
Exactly. It's your wife.
It's your wife. You own her.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want to her pictures.
She's not only your property, she's also retroactively your property.
Yes. Which is why I could never be mad at the time traveler's wife.
No.
It's the greatest movie about grooming ever.
It's the greatest story ever told.
You go back in time to tell a child that in the future you're going to
gonna
fall
be
in
your
love with
husband.
each other.
Yeah.
So now you should be in love with me.
100%.
Yeah. And then you get to do whatever you want to that child. In the future, I own you.
How about instead of too old to die young, it's too young to beat off?
No.
Is that a show?
You're never too young.
You're never too young?
Never too young.
All right. That's fair, I guess. Yeah, so we said who we are. That's a good
At Syrian Soft Paws on the things, at x.com, Instagram, Letterbox, which is really the only important one, where I'm setting a new world record and personal best for movies watched in 1 month.
You're on a strong pace.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell everybody why. Maybe that'll be in the future, but
Sure.
at the moment...
Well, you're doing good.
At the moment...
You're doing good movie
in the month of January...
And today we find ourselves recording on the 20th of January. We're 2/3 through the month. You have another third of a month to go.
56.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So if I was to extrapolate the numbers, you're on pace for 84.
Would you like to see what my last watch was last night before I went to bed?
Yes. Ooh, kitty cat movie, Ghost of the Mountains, rated 5 of a possible 5 stars. with the review, beautiful babies, heart emote, heart emote, heart emote.
You know it. Look at that adorable little baby.
No, that's a beautiful baby.
There is a scene.
Do I need to watch this immediately?
Of course,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
I'm surprised I've only seen it like 3 times. I probably should see it like 50 times a day.
Fair enough.
They find a mother and its 2 cubs.
Yeah.
And then they...
Did we say snow leopards? They're snow leopards.
They're snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they put trail cams to get video of them.
Right.
And the baby goes and is like the most...
Is like posing.
And is the most like house cat, like
Yeah.
investigating something in the world.
What's going on?
It is so fucking adorable that my face melted off. And I had to have surgery to get it reattached
face.
this morning before you got here. But yeah, I'm putting up personal best. So go to Letterbox and look at my reviews of me saying beautiful babies, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji.
Now, I believe that was the same as your review for Cuties.
Beautiful babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heart, heart, heart.
Heart, heart, heart.
The hearts, of course, representing the children's butts. There, I said it. Are you happy? Are you happy you made me do this?
I mean, you seem pretty happy about it.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. When are they making a sequel to Cuties?
Oh, Cuties 2. This time it's personal.
Yeah.
I'm in. Cuties 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold.
Cuties 2, bigger, stronger, harder.
Cuties 2,
Harder, stronger, faster.
Final Nightmare.
Oh, Cuties. You weren't even good.
The great tragedy. Cuties wasn't even good.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was too bad.
It was kind of dumb.
Yeah. It should have leaned in harder if it was going to go that route.
100%.
Yeah.
If you're going to sexualize children, you sexualize them harder.
Sexualize those children. You get out there and find that fucking dog.
Out of your fucking ball. Well, we're not inside 10 minutes anymore,
I
so
know.
continue your talking.
Here's my post 10 minutes business keeping. That's a portmanteau of taking care of business and housekeeping. Business keeping.
Business keeping.
I'm Scott, as previously mentioned. I'm at not Scott Henson on x.com. And also technically Letterboxd, but you should probably go to Drew's Letterboxd before mine because he's just slightly more active than me.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, start with Drew, and then if you have time, go see my last review from probably last July. Also at Not Scott Henson on YouTube, perhaps where you are right now, youtube.com/at Not Scott Henson. Certainly subscribe if you're not already. Ideally, in a perfect world, in a beautiful, idyllic world, click the join button, become a member. Like recent new member, longtime caller, Enma did. So thank you very much for that. I think getting us to our highest number of members to date at 27. If 3 more of you could do it, I think we are allowed 1 more custom emote, which we already have a few in the bag from Caraxa, so I can just throw it up there immediately as soon as they allow me to. So by the time I check, so y'all got to do it quick. You got to listen to 14 minutes of this thing and then get on it if you're not a member already.
And if you're not, what are you doing?
What are you doing? When I check, I want to see over 30, and I want to throw up a new kitty cat emote, and I want to be done with it after that. So thanks so much, Emma. Glad you're on board, and thanks to the got a lot of 13-monthers now, some 12s, and a big old chunk of 11s. Just waiting for that 12-month thick hog, so thick it's pressing against the glass. Badge.
It's a real Florence Pugh and Don't Worry, Darling.
Very much.
That
so.
scene was just for me. Just for me. I like a smushed poo.
I bet you do. I bet you're happy that you said that.
I am.
Dry Juice, Joe Steotan, Caffey, Here I Am 123, which is of course a Brian. Sonex, Pseudo Scott, all of you at 11 months. So you'll be due real damn soon. And of course, all the 12 and 13 monthers. Look, you've heard your names recently enough. You'll get it later. But thanks so much, everyone, doing it. And if you can do some more, that's fantastic. Also on the doing more front, paypal.me/notscotthenson, paypal.me/SarianSoftpaws. If you want to send both of us stuff, you don't need to send to both things. Just send to one and say it's for both, and we'll fucking handle it on our end, because that's
adults.
how professional we are.
Technically, we're adults.
Technically, by the letter of the law, we are adults. Just don't look too deep into it, because you're not going to like what you find.
You're really not.
No. What else is going on?
I don't know. I just saw this very funny thing.
Pretty cool. Appears to be a 1980s wrestling event with a person holding up like a professionally printed.
Yeah, that is not by hand.
Didn't make it home. Roddy Piper has AIDS sign.
The 80s. You're the best.
I mean, he did die pretty young. Is that what got him?
Yeah, that's what got him. He was the little do people know he's the second person to get AIDS from heterosexual sex.
Magic.
Oh, magic. Is that all the housekeeping you've got to do?
I'm sorry. I've become distracted now because someone just sent me this.
Oh, that's gay porn. Nice. I like it.
Is it just a suit? I guess it is a really good looking, really realistic, really jacked tiger fursuit, and someone tagged me and then said, "Is this you?"
Well, it's a real body. It's not a fursuit. That's what people really look like.
I don't think it's a
fursuit. That's what you
fursuit.
could look like.
This is what I want. I don't need to be this jacked.
That's the end
but
game.
I'm not going to be mad if I'm this jacked.
That's fair.
But this looks awesome. Now I'm just gonna be looking at this all day. But what else did I actually had some stuff? Oh yeah. Former member and current cheapskate UV sent us a fun quiz that was probably worth taking on the pod. The quiz is, I think it's just maybe 20 questions. Yeah, each worth 1 point.
Okay.
For those of you keeping score. Speaking of the tunnels, the quiz is titled Zionist or Nazi, Who Said It?
Oh.
Disclaimer. This is probably good for YouTube, so I think I will read the disclaimer. Disclaimer, this quiz is part of a research on perceptions of hate speech and is not meant to hurt anyone's sentiments. We do not seek to target any ethnicity or religion. Political ideologies, however, should be scrutinized and challenged. Zionism does not represent all Jewish people, just like Nazism does not represent all Germans, except when it does. Following are a few statements, some made by prominent Nazi Germans about Jews, others made by prominent Israeli and pro-Israeli Zionists about Palestinians. Can you guess which is which? Since the quote in question could be about either Jews or Palestinians, the name of the group will be replaced with group in square brackets. They will be other similar context-dependent replacements. Question 1. The group have no right to claim equality with us. If they wish to speak on the streets, in lines outside shops, or in public transportation, they should be ignored. Not only because they are simply wrong, but because they are group who have no right to a voice in the community.
I would assume that is the Jewish people?
I think Zionists.
Or Zionists, sorry.
Yeah. I'm going Zionist. Next. I guess we find out at the end.
Ah.
I think it's not a one by one. All the group will be able to do about it will be to scurry around like drugged cockroaches in a bottle. Who said it?
Gee, I wonder.
Is that Nazi? Or is it, or not?
I think Zionist.
I'm with you.
I think Zionist.
is this going to be, it was all Zionist?
I'm hoping
I hope that's the angle.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping that it's literally both. Like maybe not the direct quote, but it's like one of them specifically said the quote, but the other group also had a quote that was very
Almost
similar.
identical. The group aren't educated towards peace, nor do they want it. To me, they are like animals. They aren't human. Zionist. I think it's Zionist.
Yeah.
A group of school children were found singing this poem. All the world hates the group, and the main thing is to kill them one by one. With these lips I sucked his blood, and I still haven't had enough revenge. Which political ideology was the school affiliated with?
That might be Nazi.
It could be.
That might be Nazi.
They're not as much bloodsuckers.
No, that's true.
But maybe they're real mad one day. Do we go Nazi on that?
Let's try Nazi.
We'll try a
Only because we've just been saying not.
The other 19 will do Zionist. Yeah. They will get no food, no water, no fuel. Everything will be closed. We are fighting against human animals and will act accordingly. I feel like that was said last week.
That was said last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely. That was definitely the Nazis last week.
Yeah.
The American Nazis. All of the Polish Nazis that have risen up in the last 10 years.
True. And all those damn Ukrainian Nazis who are causing the war over there.
No, they were gay demons.
Oh, they were gay demons.
Gay demons.
What's so horrifying about understanding that the entire group is the enemy?
That it could be both.
Nazi?
Yeah, let's go Nazi.
Okay.
I still do feel like the whole thing is going to be all of these were Zionists.
I would be thrilled.
Yeah.
If it was all Zionism all the time. The group always lives from the blood of other peoples. He needs such murders. The victory will be only entirely and finally achieved when the whole world is free of group. Nazis. You can tell.
How much of this can you say?
Do I approach this?
Does it involve...
Well, it does, but how to... Okay. The way I know it's Nazis is because it's more altruistic than Zionists. Because Nazis care about ridding group for the rest of the world's benefit, and Zionists only care about ridding group for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're more selfish genociders. There, I think I navigated that flawlessly.
Uh-huh.
There is a war between two people. Who is the enemy? The group. That's so general. It could very much be either.
Could be either.
Take a shot. What are we like?
The enemy is... Because, see, I feel like the end of that statement is the enemy is the Jews.
Yeah.
I think it's Nazis.
Nazi. Even 1 million members of group are not worth a fingernail of speakers group. 1,000,000 to 1.
You couldn't even kill that many dogs you wanted to.
Be tough.
I'm going to go Zionist.
Zionist.
That was said in the past 3 months.
Yeah. Finish them off and don't leave anyone behind. Erase the memory of them. Erase them, their families, mothers, and children. These animals can no longer live. If you have group neighbor, don't wait. Go to his home and shoot him. I feel like there was some talk like that in Europa. So I'm thinking Nazi, but
Yeah. Well, because if you think about it, in like Nazi run Germany, you would be living next door to other
yes.
people. Whereas
where they're already in a concentration camp in Israel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this would, because of the wording seems obvious, but maybe that's to throw you off. Maybe it is to throw you off. There is only one solution, which is to destroy group completely.
Huh.
I mean,
which kind of solution? Like a secondary solution?
No, I'd say like after that.
Oh, so like
not even a tertiary solution. More like the more like the last
a
one.
completist solution?
Yeah. If you think I'm not writing tertiary solution,
I don't think you can put that in the description.
Well, this is where our paths diverge because I'm putting it in the description. A tertiary solution.
Sorry, I'm being distracted, but you continue. I learned something that I didn't know was a thing. But anyways.
We'll come back to it. It is
I've already
part of the
forgotten.
news. Okay.
I've already forgotten, but it is part of the news. So this is the news.
So on the solution front, are we going the obvious or is it misdirect?
No, I think it's the obvious.
Okay.
I think it's the obvious. Unless it's all,
Unless it's all Zionist.
Yeah.
With compulsory transfer of group, we would have a vast area. I support compulsory transfer. I don't see anything immoral in it.
Gee, I wonder what that is.
Zionist.
Zionists, 100%.
Yeah. The group are responsible for the war. The treatment they receive from us is hardly unjust. They have deserved it all. Zionists?
Ooh.
You can definitely make a case either way.
Yeah, I think Zionists. I think you're right.
Bring down buildings. Bomb without distinction. Stop with this impotence. You have ability. There is worldwide legitimacy. Flatten a place where a group lives without mercy. Well, if they're saying a specific place where a group lives,
yeah,
I think that's more specific. So
that is Zionist.
I'm getting a Facebook audio call from Sam Jude, who has an amazing knack for calling every time I'm fucking busy.
Yep. And when we're recording the podcast, I think it's like the second or maybe third time
we put him on
once. Yeah, we put him on once.
Yeah.
Don't put him on this time. He was not funny enough to be...
I won't. And then I will
call him back immediately.
I will call him back or message him back and not hear anything for 6 weeks.
Yep, sounds right.
You're a weird guy, Sam. Country is ours. We will protect country against you animals, against you traitors, against you barbarians. You'll never live again.
Nazis.
I guess, but I could go both ways on that one.
I mean, I think you could go both ways on.
I mean, that's kind of
on almost every single one of them. But yeah, I think it's Nazis.
Okay. I will return to city when the last group member is terminated. I don't care if they are children, elderly, people on crutches. I will return to what city?
Mecca. They're moving Mecca to Israel.
Ooh, finally. They got their wish.
I don't know. Because like, what would the Nazis be talking about?
I don't know. So that's why I want to go Zionist.
I think Zionist.
Okay. Who are the poor women of group? They are all mothers, sisters, or wives of enemy fighters. So a case to also kill the women. Who are the poor women over there? Enemy fighters. Yeah. I'll go Zionist.
Yeah, I'll go Zionist.
We shall try to spirit the group across the border by procuring employment for it in the transit countries, while denying it any employment in our own country. Expropriation and the removal of the group must be carried out discreetly and circumspectly. Nazi.
But were the Nazis about... Yeah, I guess at the beginning they told them all...
Yeah,
we're moving you out. JK.
And like, what transit countries would Israel be dealing with, right?
Just the rest of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Just get them out of Israel and into the Middle East.
Yeah. So Nazi on that?
I guess it kind of has to be.
The group is a devil in human form. He should be exterminated root and branch.
Nazi.
I was going to say Zionist. I'll give you Nazi.
Well, we're going opposites, and as we all always
always
learned,
right.
I'm always right on the opposite one. So.
I do not admit that a wrong has been to those people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, or at any rate a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come in and taken their place. Taken their place, says Zionist to me.
Yeah, me too.
And that's all 20. Submit. Your response has been recorded. View score. Don't mind if I do.
I thought it was just going to be your response has been recorded. We're
And
reporting
you
you
have been added to a
to the
list.
Mossad. You are fucked, buddy.
11 out of 20.
Wow.
So, the group have no right to claim equality with us. If they wish to speak in the streets, do anything, who have no right to a voice in the community. We said Zionist, it was Nazi, by our boy Joseph Goebbels. Next one.
Maybe don't call them
our boy?
Boy.
A boy. I said a
boy.
Joseph Goebbels. All the group will be able to do about it will be to scurry around like cockroaches in a bottle. We said Zionist. It was Zionist. The group aren't educated towards peace, nor do they want it. To me, they are like animals. They aren't human. We said Zionist. It was Zionist. The school children singing the poem. We said Nazi. It was Zionist.
Okay.
Next one. They will get no food, no water, no fuel. Everything will be closed. We are fighting against human animals and will act accordingly. We said Zionist. It was Zionist, by Israel's Minister of Defense. Oh, it says who says. I missed. Yeah. So the first one was Jogo.
Jogo.
Next one was Israeli Army Chief of Staff. Next one was Deputy Defense Minister of Israel, who served under Netanyahu. And the Israel school thing. I was thinking about West Bank settlements. And and that's where we're at. Next one. What's so horrifying about understanding that the entire group is the enemy? We said Nazi. It was the Israeli Minister of Justice. The group always lives from the blood of other peoples. He needs such murders. The victory will be only and entirely and finally achieved when the whole world is free of group. We said Nazi because they are in fact more altruistic. Said by Julius Streicher, senior Nazi party member, about the people they were mad at. The war is between two people. Who is the enemy? The group people. We said Nazi. It was Zionist by the Israeli Minister of Justice. Even 1 million members of group are not worth a fingernail of speakers group. We said Zionist. It was Zionist by Rabbi Yaakov Perrin about the Arabs.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Cool. Do we think this is getting monetized?
I'll be fascinated. We're just doing a quiz. And we did a disclaimer.
That's true.
I don't know
whether or not they listen to the disclaimer.
What more we can do. Finish them off and don't leave anyone behind. Erase the memory of them. Erase them, their families, mothers, and children. These animals can no longer live. If you have group neighbor, don't wait. Go to his home and shoot him. We said Nazi. It was Zionist.
But they don't live next door to each other.
I guess a couple slipped through the cracks.
Gotcha.
Said by Ezra Yachin, who's brought in who brought in official IDF Eagles to give a pep talk to Israeli soldiers before Israel's 2023 ground invasion of Gaza. 95-year-old Ezra Yachin is also a veteran of Deir Yassin massacre, one of the most horrific crimes during Nakba. This is interesting.
Are you getting down a rabbit hole?
Sure, but
no,
I was just looking at the numbers, and I think I see where it's going. There is only one solution, which is to destroy a group completely. We said Nazi, Zionist. Said by Moshe Feiglin, former deputy speaker of the Israeli Knesset. With compulsory transfer of group, we would have a vast area. I support compulsory transfer. I don't see anything immoral in it. We said Zionist. It was Zionist. shout out. Oh man, this the answers are giving like editorials now. You would be forgiven to think this was a Nazi leader talking about Lebensraum. These are in fact the words of David Ben-Gurion in 1938, arguing for forcibly expelling Palestinians from their own homes. The quote is sourced from Israeli historian Benny Morris's book Righteous Victims, page 144, if you want to check it out yourself. The group are responsible for the war. The treatment they received from us is hardly unjust. They have deserved it all. We said Zionist. It was Nazi. I believe only the second Nazi answer of the quiz so far. While closely echoing what Israeli leaders have said about Palestinians recently, this is in fact a quote from Joe Go, Nazi minister of propaganda, about them in 3 brackets. Bring down buildings, bomb without distinction, blah, blah, blah. We said Zionist. It was Zionist. Country is ours. We will protect country against you animals, against you traitors, against you barbarians. You will never live again. I think this was our disagreement, and I think I was right that it was Zionist. Said by American Zionist protest leader during a pro-Israel demonstration in Maryland in an exchange that has since gone viral. Nice. I will return to city when the last group member is terminated. I don't care if there are children, elderly, people on crutches. We said Zionist. It was Zionist.
Shocker.
By a resident of Kibbutz Be'eri to an Israeli news channel. Who are the poor women of the group? They are the mothers, sisters, or wives of enemy fighters. We said Zionist. It was Zionist by Major General Giora Island of the IDF about the women of Gaza. There are no innocents in Gaza. We shall try to spirit the group across the border by procuring employment for it in the transit countries while denying it any employment in our own country. Expropriation and the removal of the group must be carried out discreetly and circumspectly. We said Nazi. It was Zionist by Theodor Herzl, the founder of Zionism. Wrote this in his diary in 1895. The group is a devil in human form. He should be exterminated root and branch. We said Nazi. It was Nazi by the aforementioned Julius Streicher. I do not admit that a wrong has been to those people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, or at any rate a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come in and taken their place. We said Zionist. It was Zionist. Famous Zionist Winston Churchill. Said it's this in response to growing concern of Arabs that large-scale Zionist migration under Peel Commission might end up ethnically cleansing them, and he was totally chill with it. So I believe, numbers-wise, it was 3 Nazi, 17 Zionist. Wow. Once again, our downfall was being too pro-Nazi. Monetize us, you cowards.
You cowards.
We did nothing wrong. And neither did... No. So that was fun. What else do you want to talk about?
That's crazy.
Speaking of crazy, good segue, Scott. Also, I was so excited I almost said crazy and segue at the same time, so I sort of said crazy.
Crazy.
There's a guy... This is a big Scott reading episode, but I think it's good I do it every now and then because sometimes I think I forget how to read.
Mm-hmm. That's reasonable.
So on-air practice, probably a good thing. So there's a guy who has shown up in what's currently being posted on the, if you guys want to follow along, the YMS Streams channel, formerly Adam Plays Throughs. Let's be clear, this was not prompted, just started saying stuff. So these are the recent playthroughs on that channel of Hitman World of Assassination. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
You are.
Thank you.
Ass, a nation.
Ass, titties, ass and titties. Ass, titties, titties, ass, and titties. Ass.
I believe the next line is big booty bitches that need to wash up.
So, where do you stand on the Hitman franchise? Games, movies, etc.? Did you know there's more than one movie? That's crazy.
Yeah. There's one there's one with Timothy Oliphant.
Yes.
And one with Rupert Friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I only know that because I looked it up when we were playing it.
I've seen the Timothy Oliphant one. It's whatever.
Would you consider Rupert a friend?
No.
Okay.
He's a friend of me.
Okay, Rupert friend.
We hate each other, but sometimes we fuck.
Yeah, perfect.
I've not seen the second one. I have no intention of seeing the second one.
You can't fit it in your 84 movies in the month of January 2024?
No thanks.
All right.
I got.
Do you own it?
I got more important. No.
Okay. Don't. Okay. Look, you can do a lot of things.
But if I said,
but don't get uppity at me asking if you own the second Hitman.
But if I said
you own second Hitman movie equivalents that I'm looking at.
If I said that I had no intention of watching it, then why would I own it? Just to have it?
Yes.
All right.
You own some real bullshit.
You know what? You got me there.
So this is username Violet at Jim Kalwaski on YouTube. Don't harass him. Although, how do you
don't bully him? He'll come.
If they if they don't have an active channel, like you can't really harass someone much on YouTube.
No.
But so here we go. So this is about our good friend, the titular hitman, Agent 47. If you take the letters from agent and convert them to the numbers that correspond there. Okay, I'm going to read this as written. There's going to be some mistakes.
That's how I like it.
So bear with me. I'm not going to proofread on the fly. Convert them to the numbers that correspond to their place in the alphabet. A equals 1, B equals 2. A equals 1, G equals 7, E equals 5, N equals 14, T equals 20. And those numbers add up to agent equals 47. And that is the end of where his numerology works. I'm sure that is why he's called Agent 47. That's fine.
Yeah.
Stop listening now. It's time to check out. If he had just said that, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing. The end. He continues.
Oh boy.
For a while.
Oh boy.
There is a list of words coded out that that are connected to Agent 47. Agents must obey, also 47. You must obey the judge, also 47, who has a gavel, also 47. It is all connected to the date 4/7, or in USA, we say 7/4. Independence Day, 1776. Holiday equals 74. Add these words up and you get 74. English equals 74. Gematria equals 74. Masonic equals 74. Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. He spoke in parables, 74. Gospel, 74. Messiah, 74. I don't believe in stupid religion. You have to be lying to yourself if you don't see the pattern. The MSM, mainstream media, is the new religion, and they use the same code that the dumb church and government uses. They tell you stories with agents, fake actors through a screen. It screens out what you see. The next president is number 47, and Trump is now age 74, which I think is not accurate, actually. I think he's older than that. Notice how right-wing acts like is Jesus come to save them from the satanic deep state. He is calling himself the Trumpinator, like the Terminator. Donald Trump is currently 77. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be the only time that he takes liberties with his numerology in order to make his crazy work. He is calling himself the Trumpinator, like the Terminator, and Agent 47 is like a Terminator. The Terminator is sent through time 47 to kill JC. Trump wears a hat with 45 and 47. 4 plus 5 equals 9. 4 plus 7 equals 11. I respond, checks out. He replies, oh, you know what? We have a retraction. Made a mistake. When I said Trump is 74, I meant to say Trump turned 74 when he left office. This is him acting like Jesus. Yes, Trump was 74 at some point. Not now, but at some point he was. Drew's having a seizure. It's okay. It gets better. Trump turned 74 when he left office. This is him acting like Jesus. Now he is saying he will be back. Like the WTC was rebuilt, which is a big obelisk that is 1,776 feet tall, you believe in because you are in a cult like the church has a steeple. And you think climate change is real and will cause a flood on Earth like in the Bible due to your carbon footprint sin. This checks out too. The Pentagon construction started 9/11/1941. Trump, 33 boxes, FBI raid. Obama, 33 million documents. Hillary, 33,000 emails. Jesus, age 33. Trump, 33 bathrooms in Mar-a-Lago. That's a real thing that a human being wrote. Trump has Apollo in his 33rd floor. Apollon the Destroyer, Abaddon, Rev 911, the Trumpinator, rockets equals obelisks equals steeple equals cross, Bezos launch at 9:11 a.m. in a cowboy hat. He is acting like Nimrod builds a tower of Babel. Check your dollar bill. You don't understand it. You still wear a mask? Question mark. Switching gears. Did it not check out to you that? Did it not check out to you yet that it's not real? Here is something that don't check out. Where is the biohazard bins, and why aren't you upset there is none? Next post. ISS equals 911 when you do a Pythagorean reduction. See here, I equals 9, S equals 19. So you take 19 and make it a single digit by adding the 1 and 9 to make 10, so then you reduce 1 plus 0 to equal 1. So S can mean 19 when you want it, or it can mean 1 when you want it. So then ISS equals 911, and I have plenty of proof they use that. And the ISS is being talked about and NASA taking it down in 2030. They want you to be paying attention to the ISS. I predicted the date of the virus and was warning 3/11 ahead, and predicted 2/22/22 was the date we would get involved in war, and which it wasn't. I believe it was February 24th, 22, if he's talking about Ukraine, and not February 22nd. And Joe Biden came out at 2:22 p.m., 22 minutes late, on Tuesday, spelled with a 2, because he's being cute, I guess, to tell us how. It was the date of the Pluto return since 1776. Don't know what that means. And Pluto uses a weapon called a bident, which is most of Biden. Anyways, but seriously, folks, anyways, the ISS isn't real whenever they tell you it's falling down from wherever country attacks it. I respond, I agree, and this is definitely not stupider than religion. He responds, you went around in a mask spreading death, you didn't stay home. You chose to go out and kill people with jokes, LOL. So, Drew, you with me? I got a little more. Drew, come back. Guys, we lost Drew. Drew went to heaven. Drew! I'm not done, but I wanted to check in, see how you're doing, see how you're feeling. Can you even tell if what his stance is on COVID right now? Because earlier he said something about it not being real, and then he's like, you went out in a mask spreading death.
I don't give a fuck. You finish reading, and I'm just going to not give a fuck. And I mean this in all sincerity. If this is somebody who listens to the podcast...
I can't, no.
Good. Kill yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Actively kill yourself.
Yeah, you're making everything worse. Continuing.
No, I'm so glad the Canucks game is starting, and I can just pay attention to that and not this guy.
You have to turn off the game.
No, I can't.
I need your full...
No, thank you.
You do have to listen to that, because I will need your thoughts at the end.
There's going to be no thoughts, Scott. I don't give a fuck about anything you're reading right now.
So he says you went around in the mask spreading death and you didn't stay home. You chose to go out and kill people with jokes, LOL. I respond, play is gon' play. He says, bad comeback. You have nothing to talk about. You got played. I didn't. I was here warning about pandemic on 3/11 a year before.
And did they investigate 3/11?
I think they investigated 3/11. Then you was talking about it. Then you was talking about it what I was a year before you. And now you are so sick of talking about you can't anymore. And I respond, I honestly can't tell if you're a committed jokester or are severely mentally ill. In that regards, kudos. So that was our discussion on part 2 of the Hitman playthrough. There is a little bit on part 3 as well. Get off your phone, Drew. This is important.
I'm not paying attention.
You have to play.
I hate you. I hate you more than I hate this guy.
This is fun. We're having fun.
Fine.
So again, he starts. This is not a response to anything. Is that guy? Oh, I thought there was a man fucking the ice rink, but he was just stretching. So he opens, our boy Jim Kalwaski. First, I'm LGBTQ and not right-wing nationalist. Sorry if I was rude before. Okay. He's being polite. I'm a fan of Adam and Scott, really, even if they want to act like I'm a joke. Good. If you could please be nice and try to understand, please. 2 pleases, 1 sentence. Very polite. Adam, can you please do a review on the film ISS? It's about the space station, a collaboration of many countries. In the film, there are Russia and NATO on the ISS together. While on Earth, a nuclear war starts between the 2 sides, so the people aboard the ISS on each side are sent message to take control of the ISS. The movie is set to be released on 1/19. Oh, it came out yesterday. Why aren't we seeing it?
You can go tonight.
I don't want to go tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tom Cruise is set to go to the ISS to film a movie. Russia beat him in a new space race to film the first movie in space. They had a movie called The Challenge. Tom Cruise was the challenger to the space race with Russia, and he failed. Like the Challenger exploded at 73 seconds in. Tom Cruise's birthday is on 7/3. His name is short for Thomas Crucifix, twin cross. 2 crosses symbolize Jesus' death and return. Jury paying attention? If you notice, Tom Cruise is the Jesus of Scientology. He acts like Jesus in all of his films. Works with Kubrick. Don't know why that's a thing. And he worked with him once. He
Worked with him once right before he died.
Yeah. He always is shown falling down or hanging onto something from the sky in all the news and movies you've seen of him. In South Park, he is dead on the moon. They are hinting at an event. Oh, so they got Matt and Trey involved. I think when he goes to the ISS, something is going to happen to the ISS. And on the ground here, like some war. They keep having movies that show you what they are going to do, I promise you. The ISS is a representation of the Tower of Babel. It's a tower that goes to the heavens. Man equating themselves with God. That's why all the space stuff always blows up. They are staging the failures. They treat the astronauts who died like martyrs. They have to go Mach 33 to go to the heavens like Jesus was 33. I don't know if they go Mach 33.
No.
It seems 33 times the speed of sound.
No, I don't think that's a thing.
It seems really fast. Anyway, I'm not religious. You're not, but you are in a different way, and it's kind of worse. They have you believing in Bible stuff like man-made climate change, floods, and will blame you and make you pay lots of money for it. Climate change is religion?
The highest Mach speed reached is Mach 6.7.
So not quite 33?
Not quite.
Well, I guess that's why we haven't gone to the heavens yet. But you need 33 to go to the heavens.
You need 33 to go to
Also,
heavens.
what are the heavens? Just the higher sky?
Yep.
Okay.
Up there.
Once again, I respond to that with checks out. And he responds to me, watch out for airborne corona, and I hope Houthis can't fly planes. Okay. Let me know if you run out of masks.
Wait, airborne corona?
Yeah, as opposed...
Isn't it already airborne? Airboom corona.
Evan and Kofi. Let me know if you run out of masks. I'm not even using mine the whole time. I know how dirty they can get from seeing all the maskne from all the believers wearing their nasty belief symbols on their face.
I'm more of a believer.
A lot of mid-card 2010s WWE.
Scott, I gotta do whatever I can to fucking entertain myself at this point.
I respond, who calls it corona or even worries about it anymore? Have you not been outside in a very long time? He responds, your logic isn't making sense. I went out and filmed the hospitals while you stayed inside and believed the screens. There was no bodies in the refrige trucks, like said on TV, and no body at the hospitals. Sorry, your attention span is low. By the way, I've already talked about the next big event, and you will talk about it ... later. And who called it corona? It's called coronavirus. It's named after the sun being eclipsed. See, knowledge you don't know, and I do. Who worries about it. Many states have mandates for masks. Not anymore. You wore a mask. I didn't. You are the one worried. You are the one worried over virus, even though the only thing I've said is who even talks about this anymore. And you are the one worried over virus and terrorists and nukes and asteroids, climate change. What? I don't believe in them. You are in the religion. So funny how you want to downplay the whole world being shut down over nothing. But they will say something else is around and lock you down again, like nuke fallout. And you'll be inside. Tell me I'm going to die if I go outside. Now you say I don't go outside enough. Your logic is bad. And so you are saying Corona is not real, LOL? Strange reaction to a worldwide pandemic where you was locked up in a mask too, because you was so scared you'd die if you go anywhere, LOL. And anyone who didn't follow commands to do that was made fun of like you are still trying to do. I'm trying to do the opposite. But you see, you are failing, so you won't really communicate. Just throw out some crappy line like "you got me." Evade anything I say. Wonder why? Question mark. Better off just not saying anything else, I guess. You don't even make sense, and I'm running circles around you. And you'll continue to believe dumb stuff, and you'll go in a mask again and lock down again over a virus in the future, and for nukes and for climate change, because you believe in that crap, so you'll hide inside afraid while I'm outside having fun, ... You lose. I respond, I can't even tell what your stance is on anything. It's so convoluted. Either way, when Tom Cruise goes to the ISS and comes back and nothing happens, you have to apologize. Tom Cruise wants you to wear a mask. Listen to him. Did you know he is scripted with the numbers 33 and 42? He got divorced from each of his 3 wives when they was 33. 42 has to do with falling down from heaven equals space. Oh, Drew's on the floor. I'm going to keep reading. You think he is going a magic flying tin can and he will fly around in orbit? You believe in magic. You don't even understand the point. He is acting like Satan going to the heavens uninvited by God. The ISS is the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel was built in 1776. AL in the Bible, okay? USA was founded in 1776, and on the USA dollar, you have a Tower of Babel with 1776 on it. USA is scripted out to be the Babylon in the Bible, the one that gets flooded. Climate change USA is causing it. I am making it clear for you, COVID-19 was part of this. The money was burnt, tower on it, okay? Well, anyways, I'm trying to help you out. You are being brainwashed. Everyone around you is lying or brainwashed. I don't think you even realize it. That's how bad it is. Right, you can't talk about anything else I was talking about already, because I'm showing you how it's scripted, and how you don't even make sense when you talk about COVID and I am. Here, let's talk about Tom Cruise and ISS. The ISS Magic Floaty Temple, it stands for Isis, the goddess in Egypt. She is the sky. Tom will go up in a rocket. The rocket is an obelisk. Can you not see it? The male part's penis. The obelisk mates with the sky, and the sun/sun, both spellings, is born. Osiris died and went to make the underworld. He is the earth. Isis makes an obelisk to mate with him. Astronauts on ISS doing spacewalk are tethered. They are like babies with umbilical cords, spelled wrong. Elon Musk scripted with 33 and 42. SpaceX equals space sex. Look at the X. It's an obelisk going to sky. Sex. X is a cross. I respond. What do they even say about COVID other than you using an outdated term for it and questioning why you seem to be so concerned about it in 2024 when it's really not much of an issue? Also, I'm guessing English isn't your first language, so we're probably not understanding each other very well. It's okay. I'm not an arguing type of person. Look, I think you would be very surprised if you would just look into how the number 33 and 42 is scripted everywhere. You can do it right now. Then you can understand what I'm saying. I speak English. You are not dumb, I know. Thank you. There is people tricking you, not me. I'm trying to warn you. And I can prove it in many ways. The problem is you have to care. I can't force you to understand. Look at number 33, how Trump is scripted with the numbers. I mean, I have a many mind maps. I hate Trump, but the best way to call him out would be to show how he is scripted, not to repeat mainstream media talking points about him. If you do that, then you are falling for Trump's acting. He is an actor for mainstream media. All they talk about is him. He is mainstream media. He is scripted out where he acts like Jesus, all caps. Now, if Jesus was real, we both know he isn't him, right? He is a big lie, right? So he is acting like Jesus, comparing himself to God, like Tom Cruise. Who wouldn't compare themselves to God that isn't God? Satan. Trump is the mainstream media's Satan. And to the right wing, they are thinking he is Jesus. Trump is scripted by the numbers. Everything he does, he is acting like he is in big trouble. He got caught. He got a mugshot, all caps. Trump first was on TV and presented himself to us at age 33. Jesus was 33. JFK, he is acting like JFK. That is why his wife dresses the way she does. Drew has gone into the other room and closed the door. I'm near the end, so I'll finish. It's not...
Listen, we need to wrap this up because I bought us 3 tickets to a 6 p.m. showing of Night Swim.
Actually... number 1 hit of the season. Anyway, before I was interrupted.
I don't care.
Coronavirus is not outdated term. You are trying to...
It was outdated after like 2 months.
Yeah, like late spring 2020, we had all kind of decided on COVID. But that's fine. You are trying to act like I don't know about COVID. I knew about it years before the pandemic date, the exact date and where it would hit first. Seattle, King County, Washington, state number 42. Corona means crown. King County, hello.
Pretty sure it's the beer, but whatever.
It's just that you don't understand why it's called Corona. You are still not making sense talking about it, though. I haven't really said much about it. You can't come back and talk about anything. Let's see it. Just vague things, and they don't really make sense. Why don't you talk to me about anything else I have? Let's see it, or you can't. And I am still here because I am making sense, and you can't really have a conversation with me. I speak English clear as day, and you know it. More excuses. Why not just talk about the 33s? Why was it called coronavirus? In humans, the viruses can cause mild respiratory infections like the common cold, but can lead to serious illnesses like pneumonia. Coronaviruses are named for the crown-like spikes on their surfaces. So who wears a crown? A king.
Pedophiles.
It went to King County, where I told Adam Johnston a year ahead. Who is the king? Jesus. He wears a crown of thorns on the cross, while an eclipse above him. King County is named after MLK. He was assassinated in a ritual like Trump. Calling his shot, I guess.
Yeah.
Coronaviruses, and then just the Wikipedia for coronaviruses. And then another Wikipedia for COVID. And my final answer and end of the conversation. Please get on antipsychotics. You haven't unraveled some mystery. You're using wacky numerology and like really wacky. You somehow justified S being both 19 and 1 to support all your paranoia, and none of it means anything. You can find any number anywhere if you're willing to go through enough arbitrary steps to get there like you are. You're exactly like doomsday Christians who predict the rapture is coming next week, and then when it doesn't, they find a way to completely justify it and say that it's actually coming next year. Rinse and repeat forever. And that was the end of that. And then he did have one post in part 4 of the playthrough, which I think really wraps everything up nicely. Too funny, Adam and Scott. This is one of my favorite games, and I like to run around and mess with the stupid NPCs. The end!
You just read the most insane thing anyone's ever written.
Like, that's so... I am fascinated by mental illness like that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like our boy Phoenix
Wright, Ace Attorney?
No, who's the guy on Facebook that was taking pictures of people, random people, do a deep dive?
That guy.
What's his fucking name?
Phoenix Swanson?
Phoenix Swanson, yeah.
He's a king.
He's a real Phoenix Swanson type.
So what fascinates me about... Oh my graph, we're at an hour. Holy shit.
Yeah, because you fucking read that thing for 2 fucking hours.
It was important. Like, it seems...
How is that good podcasting?
I think that was great podcasting.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what? Let us know if that was good or bad.
Call the number.
591 Rock, 591 Roll. Because it seems like that is such a debilitating mental illness.
But they don't know that
No,
that's
they don't know, but like it seems like you'd be so fucked up you couldn't make YouTube comments.
I mean, you'd think, but here he is.
Here he is, and that's the fascinating part about it to me.
Here he is just trolling the fuck out of you, and you fell for it, you big dumb fuck.
Hey, I recognized earlier. Hey, if you're
recognized game.
if you're a committed jokester, hats off. If you're completely out of your mind, also hats off.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Either way, you got.
It's just crazy to me that you like play along so hard on it.
I mean, when I see
you go way too hard into it.
When I see a thing, I do have to respond to it. I mean, because I can't let crazy go. Is my issue. Like. In my head, I know that I can't make someone crazy know that they're crazy, which is the great tragedy of life. But God damn it, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
It's never worked once in history and never will. But the important thing is to put the effort in. So shout out to that guy. That's our YouTube commenter of the week. A new regular segment on the show. This will be the shortest version of it. We'll try the long form version next week. All right, I'm tired now. You do something. That's our guy. He showed me a Phoenix Swanson picture. Just nothing behind those eyes.
Nothing.
Just dead black eyes.
It's not as active as he used to be.
He goes through latent periods.
Yeah, he hasn't really done a lot of posting since the end of 2021.
Damn. Maybe he's fucking dead.
Maybe he's fucking dead. He looks fucking dead.
He looked dead when he was alive.
Yeah, that's true. What a character.
Yeah. For those newer to the podcast, or if you just missed that episode, check out Phoenix Swanson on Facebook. You're going to like the way you look. Just look. Yeah. It's mostly just pictures of strangers.
It's almost exclusively pictures
with no likes or comments, but every now and then there'll be one that has comments and a lot of comments, and every single one is him arguing with himself
about Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, she's in the mix a lot.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, she's an important figure in history.
Are you done with all this business?
Yeah, I'm quite done.
Are we actually going to talk about the stuff we got to talk about, or
I guess we could do that.
We're just going to move on from
from living?
Yeah, or just never doing this podcast again. I don't know.
That's fine. Want to go see Night Swim?
Well, you can see Night Swim. I'll see Night Swim.
Yeah, I know you will. It
looks spooky.
Too spooky. I don't want to get scared. I don't want to get scared of pools.
I'm already scared of pools.
It's true.
As you've witnessed firsthand.
But for different reasons. I don't think this movie's about an adult who can't swim.
Yep.
I think there's something spookier afoot.
That's true. I mean, it does have Wyatt Russell in it, noted guy whose hockey game I've refereed before with his dad and mom in the crowd.
That's pretty cool.
I almost got to meet Kurt Russell, sort of. I mean, if I had tried to meet him, I could, but I just was like...
If you had stopped refereeing for a while and just like walked into the stands unprofessionally.
I don't care about your wife. She's done nothing important, but you, sir.
But you.
You're a hunk. You were in Poseidon.
That's your go-to, huh? No. Favorite Kurt Russell movie? Poseidon.
I don't know what my go-to Kurt Russell is, but I mean...
Big Trouble in Little China?
Well, I mean, they all have little Chinas. They're Chinese.
And they're sideways.
No, I mean, Bone Tomahawk is probably my go-to now.
Bone Tomahawk's sick. I mean, Death Proof is sick.
Death Proof is pretty sick. Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Fast 9.
Really?
Or 8. He's the like head of the government agency that like works with them, but then gets killed, and his daughter is Brie Larson, and then she's bad at acting, and everybody hates her because she's...
That sounds right.
She's a real see you next Thursday, it appears.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Oscar winner?
Yeah.
Did she win for Room?
Rom-com.
For CD Room?
CD Room. Yeah, she did.
How about Groom? And it's largely the same movie, but you're just kind of what she's worse to the kid.
We should end this podcast.
We should have ended either at like 90 seconds or now. Neither of which we're going to.
Let's not even talk about the thing we're going to talk about.
Because hubris.
Speaking of mental illness, I believe lying about things is a mental illness.
Is this your segue?
That's my segue.
This is the way you've decided we're doing Roblox underscore oof.mp3 first?
Yes.
Nice.
So the first couple minutes into it.
This is brought to us by Olivia, by the way. Thank you.
I'm not going to say thank you, but...
You're not going to say that?
Okay, fine, thank you.
That's rude. That's rude, Drew. Don't be a rude, Drew.
No, I want to be.
Okay.
You've made me furious, so now I'm going to be mean. I'm going to take it on everybody else.
As long as it's everybody but me.
No, once Kelly gets here, I'm going to turn him on you, and then we're going to be mean
Oh,
to
no,
you.
don't go Dark Alliance.
Dark Alliance
I
against
hate you and Kelly Alliance.
Yep.
It sucks.
It's unnatural.
It is. I don't like it.
Dogs and cats living together?
Yeah, you and Kelly against me is not a dynamic I enjoy.
Too bad. Too fucking bad. So, maybe, like 2 minutes in, and I realized, or not even 2 minutes, like less than a minute in, and I realized how long the video was.
Yes.
And I was like... There's no fucking way I'm finishing this.
How are there 2 hours on Roblox?
Well, I didn't even know what it was. Yeah. I didn't look into it. I didn't read the thing.
Yeah.
You sent me the link and I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And I was
like a YouTube video. Those are 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm doing 2 hours of this. I am so not interested in whatever, no offense, Olivia, dumb thing somebody who listens to the podcast is paying for us to watch.
But you're such a Roblox fan.
I'm a huge robot.
It's where you do most of your grooming.
Is this where I learned what Roblox was?
I've heard of it before. I don't know what it is.
Never heard of it.
It's like other Minecraft.
That's what I learned, but I didn't know that. I didn't know it existed. I also didn't even know the noise.
I've heard the noise in video. I've probably they've been used in like Adam videos, because I've definitely heard it before.
Because Adam's a weeb.
He's not the editor. The editors are weebs.
Oh
yeah.
The moderators are also weebs.
Yeah, most
and the co-hosts are also weebs.
100%.
Yeah,
and all the viewers.
And all the viewers.
Everyone but Adam is a weeb.
Yeah. So once I realized how long it was, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm watching this.
Yeah.
I got a couple minutes in and was like, oh, if this is a 2 hour fucking video about this,
how?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to watch.
I was trying to figure out how. Like a few minutes in, like, how could this be 2 hours?
Yeah. So,
and then it ends at 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I put it on 1.75 speed.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm going to at least let it play for a bit.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So I actively did not pay attention to a single minute or second of any of the actual talk about the sound or the game or any of that.
Yeah.
And I was fully ready to turn the video off.
Okay.
Until he turned the video off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is why we're watching the video.
Yes.
Everything before this is fucking worthless.
Yeah.
But everything after this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
And then I was invested.
Yeah.
Then I watched it at normal speed.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing.
It's pretty sweet.
So if we had just been given the note, don't watch the first like 15 or 20 minutes, then I would have been like,
I get you.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was like, I'm like, I hate this. I hate everybody that listens to this podcast. I hate everybody that recommends dumb YouTube things for us to watch. I'm not going to name names, but most of them involve Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, but I'm glad that it was something that is right in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
Liars.
Liars
and just the boldest of faced liars.
Fucking love liars.
Yeah.
So this is if you want to watch along at home, Roblox underscore oof.mp3 is the name of the video. It's by well-known YouTuber H Bomber guy. I've heard of the name.
Never heard him.
Probably because I've been on Twitch against my will.
It's
come up.
Is he a homo bomber?
I think he's a homo bomber.
Is he gay and bombs people, or does he bomb gay people?
It's a great question. It's a real Mexicutioner conundrum.
Is it both?
Is it both?
Is he a gay guy who bombs gay guys? He can be the only gay man.
Like some sort of gay Highlander.
Gay Highlander, yeah.
A Guylander.
Nice.
It's a good day.
It was a good day.
Yeah, I think he's a popular video essayist. I have never seen anything he's ever done before. I'm sure I've definitely recently heard Adam talk about him, but I feel like even when he talked about him recently, I knew the name. Obviously, I've never looked into it because it's fucking YouTube videos, and who's got the fucking time?
Nobody.
But yeah, apparently he did a recent video on plagiarism.
I saw that come up as a recommended. Yeah.
And now everyone's mad at other YouTube video essayist, internet historian, because apparently just everything he's ever done is completely plagiarized.
Yeah, okay.
So good stuff.
Yeah, don't ask me to name you or even recognize the name of YouTubers unless you're actively streaming and shitting on NHL 24.
Then you might know.
Because I know Tuki24 because he's the best.
Sure.
He's has been doing it for every NHL game, but has spent all of his time while playing it shitting on how terrible the game is.
Nice.
Or SB Mowing, who does those lawn care videos that I love because I'm autistic.
Yeah.
And other than that,
Eat That Pussy.
No, because he's not
for
some numbers. Eat That Pussy 6. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's not allowed to do them anymore.
It's too bad.
Because he did some bad...
Turns out he was eating the wrong pussy.
He did some bad things.
Yeah.
Baby did a bad thing.
I'm very much the same as you, like in the Twitch chat, like, hey Scott, have you seen? No!
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. I'm honestly at this point kind of insulted you're asking me. I've been doing this on Twitch for coming on 8 years, and I feel like
coming on Twitch?
I've been coming on Twitch for 8 years.
Wow.
And it's sort of established.
Any blood?
It's sort of established I don't watch that. I don't like content that doesn't go through a rigorous network notes process. I don't like it when people can just do whatever they want and put it online because there's no quality control. I need network television. I need 2.5 Men. I need Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
I need stuff that's gone through a process and made it.
New girl.
Old girl. 2 old girls.
Old dogs.
Old dogs. Wild hogs.
Old dog, but the good one.
Old dog, but the good one.
Yeah.
Etc. Not video essays that you made in your room.
Yeah, I think if you showed me a list of the top 100 biggest or most popular YouTuber type people like that.
3.
Yeah, I think I would be very hard pressed to even have heard the name of 10.
Oh yeah, I guarantee I would probably,
and I would maybe know 2.
Yeah, I'd have seen content from between 0 and 1. I'd have heard of, in honesty, 5 to 10.
Yeah,
I would guess.
What about Jenna Marbles? Is she still a thing?
I've heard
no,
the name.
She got canceled.
Did she have to do an apology?
She had to do an apology for something she did 10 years ago, and then she quit YouTube because it was too...
Because she got bullied off it?
got bullied off it.
Yes!
And then...
that's the only thing I like.
The only other one that I liked was Grace Helbig, but then she got breast cancer, and I don't know if she still does videos because she was dying or was sick. Let me look it up. Was
she has she done stand up?
Yeah, she did stand up. She had her own TV show for a while too.
Okay. Grace hella big titties.
It would appear she still makes videos, but I'm glad she didn't die because she was pretty funny.
Good. Happy ending.
Yeah, good for her.
Double mastectomy, happy ending.
She might have had double mastectomy.
Well, better than dying.
Or she had chemo.
Why
I don't know.
I heard it was the only thing that would fix her golf swing.
Be a professional golfer, yeah. I'm so glad I got you on that.
Completely got me. I'm
wait. Just sitting outside Chipotle downtown before going to see comedy.
In freezing weather.
Yeah. And I just dropped that bomb on you.
I'm like, how did I not know that your mom got a double mastectomy? I'm like, wait.
If she ever wants to be a good golfer.
She doesn't golf. So, anyway, this video. Yeah, so it's initially about a famous sound effect in Roblox of a kid falling down or running into something going oof. That's been memed a ton.
Yeah.
And
Don't get me started on fucking meme culture. But anyways,
I heard it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I heard if like you
don't use it, you lose it.
That's true. That's why I always get hard to pee. But like, people who like just send each other memes and that's like the only way they communicate, definitely aren't autistic and ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like well functioning brains.
I have one friend that we only send each other memes, but it's always memes about suicide.
That's okay.
That's all we do.
That's more about the suicide than the memes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So that one I'm going to allow. So yeah, so the beginning of the video talks about just like reused sound effects and things. We do some Wilhelm scream and Howie scream. Wilhelm scream has always sounded silly.
Well, it's stupid. It's not a real scream.
Despite
no one screams like that.
Yeah, despite being overused, I think the Howie scream is cool. Like it works in like a horror situation, but it's been used a billion times at this point. And yeah, then talks about Roblox, which is a Minecraft type thing. We think.
Yeah.
I had heard of it before this, never seen it. Drew had not heard of it. Not Roadblocks. Drew had not heard of it before this. Neither of us have still seen it or what it looks like, really.
Nope.
Also don't care.
I think there was a little clip of it in the video, but I still didn't really understand what it was.
No. It's for children, autistic people, and autistic children, I believe.
It's for poor people who can't afford Minecraft.
It's we have Minecraft at home.
We have Minecraft at home.
Autism getting a lot of play today.
Really is?
So shout out to the Roblox folks for it, because like I guess you can like make stuff on Roblox and monetize it, but Roblox takes a 75.5% cut. Bolt.
Not even 75.
No.
75.5.
A little more than 3/4.
We don't want you to get that quarter.
So then he goes back and talks about like a game from 2000, I think, called Messiah, which is where the oof sound effect is initially from. Obviously, not a lot of people know that because nobody's heard of Messiah. Although it does sound like a fun concept for a game. You're like a cherub from heaven who's been grounded to earth and just hanging out and you have no attacks or anything because you're a little baby with wings.
Yeah.
But you can like possess other people, and that's sort of how the game works.
Yeah. The game did sound kind of fun.
It looks interesting. So yeah, and that's where the sound effect is from. And then someone discovered it. I don't know, in like the late 2010s, and someone on Reddit discovered it, and then someone on Twitter reposted it, and the guy on Twitter is the guy who got credit for discovering it because nothing is fair. And so they found out, and they're like, oh, that's where it's from. End of video, 7 minutes in. And I'm like, okay, you acknowledged it, but I said at the time, you acknowledged it and like you're self-referential about it, but like this really could have been 7 minutes long, the end. But he did kind of immediately win me back with, but that's only the beginning of the story, you worm.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny.
He had good presence. I didn't mind him and his performance. And
I can see why he's popular.
Yep.
Like if I watched video essays, I'd watched him.
Yeah, if I was a loser who had no time in the world.
All the time in the world.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, all the time.
All the money in the world.
All the money.
Sorry,
but the original cut.
Starring Christopher Plummer as Kevin Spacey.
Yes. And then getting nominated for an Oscar only
Spite.
to rub it in Spacey's face.
1,000% spite.
100%.
Respect. One of the Academy's best moves.
And Chris Plummer knew that too.
Oh, yeah.
Like sitting there in the audience, he was like, I get it. I shouldn't be here.
I know. One, I know I don't deserve it. Two, I know I'm not winning. This was just a fully spite nomination. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. And now I'm dead.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey kill him?
Maybe.
Did Kevin Spacey kill someone?
Yeah. That boy.
Because he was talking too much?
Yeah.
I feel like there was talk of like Kevin Spacey like silencing someone to a permanent end.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't remember, but
that's some off-pod research. Hey guys, if you guys know of anyone Kevin Spacey had murdered, let us know.
Call in right now.
Call in. Should we do a live call-in show?
No, please.
That's or is there no bigger mistake we could make?
Yeah.
So now we are introduced to Tommy Tallarico. Is that the
Tallarico.
maybe Tallarico? My vowels didn't like it. So he owned the company. Yeah, Tallarico.
I guess 3 of his accusers all died in the span of like a year.
Oh, that can happen.
But I don't think he's really necessarily implicated in any of those.
3 accusers dying?
Someone got hit by a car.
Uh-huh.
Um,
That one was an armed robbery, even though they didn't rob anything.
the second one, they don't actually have an answer for how he died.
Oh, good.
And
Not suspicious.
And then one of them killed himself.
Perfect. Well, sounds like Kevin Spacey, not guilty. Just like they found him in Europe. On like 9 counts.
Yep.
You might even call Kevin Spacey a hero.
Well, yeah, because heroes don't get in trouble.
And winners don't use drugs.
I mean, they use a little bit of drugs.
You can have a few drugs.
You have a little bit of drugs. All right, anyways. Tallarico, I believe is his name.
Tallarico, yeah.
So he was like an early on in video games.
Music guy.
Was, yeah, like a sound design and like sound effects guy. Who like did have like some, relatively good credentials for some things that he had worked on early on.
Yeah.
Was hired to do some work for bigger games. And then also just like had his own company with his friend who got hired by big game companies to do sound design.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so while doing research to find out where the sound came from originally and found out that it was from Messiah, was how he sort of like stumbled upon this guy and sort of his aura and presence in the game industry, game sphere, Okama game sphere.
Ooh.
And just led him down a path of like narcissism, and
clout chasing,
egomaniac, of
grifting money.
This guy who spent years, just fabricating the truth about like everything he'd ever done in his life. So he finds that the guy who Tony, Anthony, Dave, Pete. Jim.
Not Tommy, the other guy?
Tommy
Tallarico.
Yeah, Tommy Tallarico.
The sound effects guy is Joey.
Joey
Curis.
Joey Curis, yeah. So Tommy Tallarico it has... So I think the first thing he finds is that 2020 video where he's trying to raise money for the new game system. That's the first thing he finds, right?
Yeah, I think we're in the video where initially introduced him via an MTV Cribs like video.
Yes, that's true.
Where we see his stupid house. Where it's like if he's such a loser,
biggest loser,
he's such a fucking loser.
He's a real Ed Hardy Von Dutch guy.
Yeah, and like if you gave an 8-year-old unlimited money to design a house, it would be his house. There's a Spider-Man room.
There's an ancient Egypt room. There's a Lara Croft Tomb Raider themed theater.
Yes.
Yeah. Big fucking loser.
Yeah.
Kind of like muscular like douchey looking Italian American guy.
Yeah. You can just say Italian American guy.
Sorry.
The rest is implied.
That is implied. Douchey. Sorry, not a regular looking Italian American.
Standard Italian American.
Yeah. They broke the mold when they made him. So he's got a pitch video for crowdfunding.
Yeah. So he bought Intellivision. From the estate of the guy who founded Intellivision.
Jim Intellivision.
Hi, I'm Jim Intellivision.
Oh, what do you do in television? No, that's my last name.
No, I'm Jim Intellivision. I'm John Krasinski.
Nice. So yeah, he bought Intellivision and was going to design a new gaming system.
Yeah.
That was specifically for families.
Yeah,
with the kind of the big key selling point of the system was
no online play.
There's no online play. You have to play it with other people in the room as a group to bring the family and friends together, whatever.
Which is very funny that it ended up happening in 2020.
Right at the beginning of the
right
pandemic.
time that we should get lots of people in the same room together. That being said, this is probably the biggest point I disagreed with H-Bomber guy. I'm with Tommy on fucking online play. Fuck it.
I mean, I don't really play online play, so
single player, baby.
Yep.
I don't need no new friends.
Spooked me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the pitch video is talking about I think it starts out with him mentioning, in the video there's a couple people in there who are known industry people.
Yeah. And
he's sort of throwing out all of his accolades or some of his accolades in the video, and then he goes H-Bomber,
yeah,
goes and finds the actual crowdfunding thing for it, how much money they raised, but then there's no game system.
A lot of money too.
Yeah.
Between two crowdfunding sites I've never heard of.
Never heard of them.
Fig and something else. Close to $20 million.
Yep.
11.5 and 9 and 7 something.
Yeah, 7 something, yeah.
Crazy.
So
people were legitimately on board for the Intellivision Amico.
Yep. And so he does a little bit of research. He obviously realizes that the game never came out. They try to do a third crowdfunding thing on a third separate one that raised $600.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He's like,
everyone
who's going to give money has
already given money.
It's over.
So he kind of takes a deeper dive into Tommy's life, or into his the last several years of whatever, and just stumbles upon the biggest phony.
Yes.
Because, there's so much to unpack in it.
There's a great deal.
There's the fact that he talks about being one of the first American...
first American.
He says the first sometimes, and other times he says one of the first.
Either way.
But at one point he said he's the first American hired to go work on the Sonic games in Japan.
Yeah.
But then it's pointed out that the game he worked on...
2009.
Well, yeah, and the game he was claiming he had worked on, which was Sonic...
Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 was already being made in the United States.
So there are probably, you would say, some Americans involved.
I would say a lot of Americans involved in that.
Yeah.
But then the actual game he did work on was 2009.
Black Knight or something.
Black Knight, yeah.
Sonex, let us know which one it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 2009 game. So
for GameCube.
Yeah. So I'm thinking a few Americans had worked on Sonic.
Between 1990 and 2009.
Between the advent of Sonic and the Obama administration.
Yeah. So that was one of the big lies, and then he was lying about. So he had claimed there's a lot of footage of him doing Skype podcasts or video podcasts.
Yeah. So he does own the oof sound. He owns it.
He owns it.
Yeah, he didn't. Not saying he made it. He owns it. It was made for his company. He has ownership of it. So first he heard that this sound that his company owns is in a video game, and he's like, "Oh, cool! Just heard this." And then, because he like us did not know a lot about Roblox.
I did not know what Duplex was.
Yeah, and then after that, finds out that it's a multi-billionaire game that is scamming children out of lots of money.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Oh," and then his eyeballs turned into dollar signs.
I deserve some of that money.
And then he had to go to the doctor to get his eyes fixed. Mm-hmm. So there's some sort of live stream he's doing.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about this, but refuses to say. So basically he's like, I don't want Roblox to take the sound effect out. I know people like the sound effect.
I don't want them to shut down. I don't want them.
I would just like a lot of money for it. But he's ostensibly too embarrassed to say how much money he's asking.
He's being fake humble about it and just saying, I just want what I feel like I deserve for this.
And they're offering me much less.
He's so he won't say
numbers.
He won't say the amount he wants. He won't say the amount they're offering him.
Someone did get him to say in terms of percentage, versus what your asking what percentage are they offering, and he's like 1%.
No, he said 100 times.
Which is 1%.
Yeah, but he said 100 times.
He's asking 100 times
the
more
amount that they are offering.
Yeah. And then he gave a bunch of examples in case you can't do it. Like, if I'm asking $100, I think he's asking more than $100, they're offering $1. If I'm asking for $100,000, they're offering $1,000. And, but it's probably a lot more than that.
Yeah, so you won't hear the actual number. He doesn't say the actual number.
Even though that's what the entire, like, 90-minute stream is about.
Yes. And constantly tiptoeing around numbers, even though people have asked him several times about the numbers.
Yeah.
So you got that. Then he starts to talk about his Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
So initially he had 2.
Yes.
Then he got 3.
Yes.
Then H-Bomber finds several different like articles or video things where it goes to 4, 5, and then 7.
And in the Cribs video, he has 7 certificates.
Yeah. Not hanging up.
Framed on the floor.
On the floor, covered in dust.
Yes.
Yeah. So initially what it is that he's pulling a WWE in terms of how many people were at a live event. So the 3.
So in terms of his career, he was like music and sound design for a bunch of video games, and then transitioned to live video game music concerts.
Yeah. Which are very popular.
Yeah.
As we saw in Tar.
That's true.
Tar.
And they tried to make it look bad. I thought it was cool.
It was cool. So one of the 3 he had was recognized for. So he says, like, obviously you're always going to sell it up as if it's a bigger thing than it actually is. So he's claiming it's the largest attended symphonic or symphony, because he says it both.
Yeah.
Concerts of all time.
Yeah.
That it is
with no qualifier, just symphony.
752,000 people
saw it live
in the Nest Arena, Olympic Arena in Beijing.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest symphonic performance.
Yeah.
Leaving out the keywords.
Video
game symphonic.
Yeah.
He also, H-Bomber doing the dive on this, finds out that he's lying about the venue, or he got the venue wrong.
Yeah.
He said it was the Olympic Stadium, which can hold, well, at first he looked it up and it can only hold 80,000 people.
Yeah.
And he said it, and, he's looking at it as like, he finds the information that 600,000 of those are people watching it on a live stream on the Chinese equivalent of YouTube.
Yeah. Shout out to Billy.
So the most would be 120-ish thousand people in the arena to watch,
which is 40,000 over.
Which is 40,000 over capacity.
And also, it wasn't that arena.
He then finds out that it is the wrong arena, and that it is a much smaller, like, amphitheater.
It's a 2,700
that holds 27,000 people.
No, 2,700.
Or 100. Sorry, 2,700 people.
Yeah.
So numbers are hard. So. And then later on, it turns out that he also said that it was over 1 million people.
He went up to him. Yeah, he
had seen it live.
His numbers for everything sort of get bigger over time.
Yeah. So that was the first one. Then the other one, the big one,
most video games
worked on in a lifetime.
Yes,
which is what he's saying it is.
Yes.
But it is not the actual Guinness Book of World Records.
I think the first one was.
So the first one was until someone
checked.
brought it to the attention, yeah.
And lots of people have done. I think the initial record was like 272 video games worked on, and that's the record for anyone ever. And then and that was like 2008.
Yes.
And he said you can look, it's in the book. He didn't note that that
it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's in there, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay, that must be official."
It's less so in the Guinness Book of World Records 2008 book, and more so in the Guinness Book of World Records 2008 Gaming Edition.
Gamer Edition.
Yeah, it's an A book, and also it's not like it's just like it's an article. It's like an interview.
yeah,
with them.
yeah.
It's not like here's the record.
Yeah.
But he did get the certificate. But then the next time they put it out, it was amended to most soundtracks.
Most soundtracks are yeah. But it went from 272
Yeah.
to 300
Yeah. To 350.
to 350.
Yeah.
Which were all him just lying about the games.
Yeah.
Because H Bomber went and did a deep dive.
Like his
on
Wikipedia is like 60.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Wikipedia was
other
60.
like more gaming specific sites and like IMDb.
Which yeah, I like him shit talking IMDb.
It's a terrible
That
site.
was pretty
You
good.
can't
I like
sort
I like
anything.
that, yeah.
Yeah, like it's got to like 90 something.
Yeah, I think IMDb was like 127. He said, even,
yeah.
and that's including everything because on
that's
IMDb,
including, like, doubles.
There was doubles on IMDb
Because he had multiple job titles on one game, and he counted every job. Like if he had 3 job titles on Earthworm Jim, that's 3.
Yes.
And still nowhere close.
And he kept in the doubles.
Yes.
He said even with the doubles,
Yeah,
it's
being as generous
127.
as possible. The only place that's more is on his own site.
Yeah.
Where he lists every console for one game as a separate credit.
Yeah.
And I think still doesn't get there. It's closer.
He was closer. Yeah, he was
but
in like
not-
the 2 something.
He's in the 2s, but not 350 as he claims.
And that's including everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So he eventually gets, I mean, he's doing interviews and he's telling everyone that he's, it's always the most video games in a lifetime. Yeah. It's 350, which obviously is not true.
Yeah.
And then the third one was most live performances of a video game concert in a year or something, which that one might actually be real.
Yeah. But it is, and also you can't challenge it.
Yes.
They're not accepting applications to beat that record.
So the reasoning...
It's a special record.
Well, I think the reasoning behind that is something else that he revealed. That if anyone is listening and doesn't want to have their reality and the magic of Santa Claus ruined,
you're gonna make some people sad, Drew.
Maybe don't listen to the next part.
Yeah.
But the Guinness Book of World Records is
bullshit.
Complete fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It is 100% like it was a novelty thing.
It is a for-profit
that you pay for to get a person to come and watch you do it.
I usually have to pay for a person to come.
I usually pay people to watch them come.
Oh,
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
We could strike a deal.
We could. You get a Guinness Book of World Record, like official judge to come watch whatever dumb thing you're doing and give you a certificate. Mm-hmm. And it costs, they say $10,000 just to get the guy.
I think 10 grand is maybe the fee plus travel, plus
hotel, plus paying for you have to buy the certificate and the official frame.
But he didn't always buy the frame.
He didn't always buy the frame.
So because he works smarter, not harder.
We'll get back to that part, but yes. So all of that stuff is bullshit. So he pretty much told them, I've worked on the most video games anyone's ever worked on.
Yeah.
And they went,
okay,
why bother checking on that? We'll just give him the certificate. So that is how he got the certificate.
Yep.
So we said he's got 3.
Yeah.
But he had 7 in his place.
I saw 7 certificates.
So we'll get to the MTV Cribs thing also. But during the MTV Cribs thing, he's walking through and showing them, but he never says what the other 4 are for.
Yeah.
So H Bomber goes and finds all of the separate times that he's shown those in a video.
Yeah.
And kind of like does the zooming in, the enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance. Mm-hmm. Enhance. And you can clearly see that the other 4 are just the duplicates
older
of the same
versions,
ones before they changed the wording.
Yeah.
And 2 of them, he was too cheap to pay for the official frames and just bought frames that look similar.
Yeah.
So 4 of them match.
Yeah.
5 of them match.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are completely different.
Yeah.
So
what's he gonna like, Drew? They were like 65 pounds.
Yeah, that's big money.
He's gonna pay the man with a 7-foot waterfall in his I don't know, dog room.
Dog room.
is going to shell out 130 quid for 2 more official Guinness frames.
Apparently
you can
not.
only have so many official Guinness frames. Jesus.
Apparently not.
Every man has a limit.
That's true. You got to know your limit and play within it. So there's the lying about the Guinness Book of World Records. So he reached out to Guinness because he wanted to find the actual, like, what are the games that he is considered that are on this 350 list?
Yeah, what's the list of games?
Because everything he's seen has been just sort of like from Tommy himself or like a lower number on other things.
Yeah.
So he reaches out to them, like literally just to find the games. And
they email him back.
Guinness emailed him back and said, we don't actually keep track of
These
any.
are,
Do you have the exact quote?
I have the second half, which is the most important. I wish I had the first, because I can't remember what they said this was, but they said this was not an evidence-based record.
Yes. It's a hearsay-based record.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a he said record.
Correct. And then he's like, so I guess there's not a list of games.
Yeah.
And then when he came back to the Guinness site
so
later...
he had taken a screenshot of because you can go into Guinness...
search his name.
Search the name, and it tells you everything that he's associated with.
And you got the 3 records.
So he needed to print it. He printed it out or something.
Yeah.
But then he had like doodled on it for some reason and needed to reprint it because he needed a better quality.
Yeah.
And so he went and typed in Tommy's last name.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Down to 2. Yeah. The record he asked, the record H Bomber guy asked about is wiped from history.
Yeah. Unintentionally.
Yeah. He's like I
was
didn't
not doing it on purpose.
Wasn't what I wanted to do. I just wanted the list of games that he has the record for. Turns out he doesn't have the record anymore. So that was pretty awesome. Shout out for accidental digital terrorism.
Yeah, 100%, right? So I think that's everything except for the Cribs. Is Cribs left?
Yeah, so the deal was with everything. Tallarico's I think legitimately a talented musician.
Yeah, and he's made a lot of money. Like
he's actually
he is a
rich.
legitimate, like he did work on video games.
Yeah.
I mean, he just lied about a lot of his credentials, but
one big one was the Shigeru Matsuyama, I think, basically like the inventor of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Personally asked him to work on Metroid Prime with him for 5 years.
There was an amazing part to that where when he was doing the one of the video podcast with somebody, and he was saying like, oh, I mean, we had been talking for years, like, he like, oh, I love all of your Mario work, like, it's so amazing. And he was like, I love your stuff too, but he couldn't even
name one thing.
He couldn't even name anything of his own work
that he would love,
that he would have loved. He just said, oh, I love, he even stumbled over like the lie
it's
of like, oh, I love all of your stuff as well.
He said, I love Lamp.
Do you really love Lamp, or is it just because you can see the lamp?
I love Lamp.
Okay.
So long story short, he worked on Metroid Prime for 5 years, despite in another interview recorded and on paper and video saying he left the project very early.
Very early.
So early that Metroid Prime forgot to put him in the credits at all.
Yeah.
Even though he was saying at one point that Mariyama was such a big fan of his that he didn't even give him guidelines for the sounds.
Yep.
He said, make cool sounds.
And we'll
design the fucking game around that. Because that's the order things happen.
Because that's the importance, is the sound design guy is the most important.
And we will forget to credit you.
Yeah.
So basically his deal is that, he's a music guy. And then this Joey Curis is the sound effects guy. Because the way they found stuff in the first place was the metadata of the wave file of oof on Messiah had Joey Curis's name on it. Then search Joey Curis. He works for Tommy Tallarico Studios, cool name for a company. Mm-hmm. and that's where they got everything. And pretty much everything they showed, and they've collaborated a ton. Besides a few exceptions where Tommy is tangentially involved in the sound effects, like Tommy's the music guy, Joey's the sound effects guy. So Yeah, and they sort of did find the as close to the also H Bomber guy like was like, yeah, I looked up Joey Curas. I found him. He seems like a fairly private guy, so I didn't want to fucking bother him for this stupid video.
Yep.
So that was nice of him.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
This guy's out of the limelight. I don't want to bring him back in.
Yeah. So basically the sound effect is someone from the studio's daughter just recorded the thing.
Yeah.
They pitched it down. The end. There's Oof.
Done.
So that's the story of Oof.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you were on MTV Cribs? Yeah, a couple times.
A couple times, yeah. Oh yeah, they came to my house and so one thing we didn't talk about was that he used to host
a video game
TV show on MTV.
Electric Playground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they reviewed games,
which
and
I think also aired on Much. I think
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think it did.
I was always a video and arcade top 10 kind of guy.
Well, yeah, but that's because you like Nicholas Pickles.
Who doesn't like Nicholas Pickles?
I agree.
And he would lie because he caught a bunch of shit for rating Smash Brothers Melee 2.5 out of 10 when it's regarded as like one of the best games of all time. And then he just said, people like always give me shit about that online. I never actually rated it.
We never
even
reviewed it
talked
on the
about
show.
it. Cut to clip from the show. This game sucks 2.5.
Yeah. Also, though, his co-host also gave it a 3.
Yeah, I saw that,
and nobody's giving him shit. So
yeah, well,
whatever.
He's not a huge liar.
That is true.
Sometimes
not a big fat phony.
Sometimes you can just have a bad video game take and people won't get mad at you. But usually they will.
One other thing he lied about too was they were talking about the new video game system and that new, we've got this new
Karma
gaming engine that so no matter if you're good or bad at games,
you've got a chance.
It'll make the game enjoyable for you.
Yeah.
And then years after they had announced
what was the Karma game?
Yeah, and
I made that up.
It was bullshit. We made it up. It's not even a real thing.
Respect.
Very funny.
Yeah, and in the crowdfunding videos for it, he listed this big person from the Disney side of Mattel who was legitimately working for it for a while, but left before the video was filmed.
Yep.
So he's literally deceiving investors.
Yeah, and I think also
with a second person,
the guy who was one of the co-founders of Xbox,
co-created the Xbox,
but he was barely he had said in the video he's in here and he's got huge contributions to the creative process.
Yeah.
And then
when he left,
yeah, they kept him on the thing and people were like, well, you can't say that he's making contributions and then doesn't work there. So he had to change the wording in the statement that he was never making any decision. He was never really here. He was just sort of a consultant, but he never did anything bullshitting his way out.
And also his initial tweet about the Oof when he found about it was oh cool, that was my studio and shout out to Joey Curas for doing it basically.
Yeah.
And then the next tweet was we did it. Then the next tweet was I did it. And then the original one mentioning Joey deleted.
Yeah.
Not at all suspicious.
No.
Yeah, it was a lot of we, but
it turned into I.
Yeah, and but even the we was basically a lie. It was his studio and another guy was doing it.
Yep.
He just owned it.
He just was the guy in charge.
Yeah.
Now can we talk? Do you have other things to talk about, or would you have the one thing that I want to talk about that involves?
I think that's most of it. Shout out for lying about stuff that happened on TV.
It's so funny to lie about things that you can be proven wrong. It's
the best.
That Eric Stahl, I would never wear a Pride jersey. Smash cut to a picture
on
from
television
the year before playing in Montreal wearing
on television, Eric.
Yep.
Come on.
You dumb fake Christian.
Do better. Yeah, I think that's everything I got but the last thing.
So the last thing was he was unaware that if you leave the country and cross back into the country with money
over
$10,000, you have to claim it.
Yes.
So I don't remember what the basis of the story was, where they went, who he was with, whatever. Something to do with the musical performances.
Yeah.
And so they come back, they arrive back.
South America?
Maybe. So they arrive back in the U.S.
Yeah, with a bag of $100,000.
With a bag of $100,000. And so they're like, sir, you need to claim this.
Yeah.
And his reasoning to not claim it was, in the plane, I physically distributed this
to all the people.
to the other guys in my band
So
at
no one had
$10,000.
more than $10,000.
So nobody had to claim it. And then once we got back through security, I just took
collected
it all
it.
back. And they
they're
were like,
yeah, that's illegal.
that's illegal. That's pretty fucking
It's great.
funny.
Yeah. Forfeited all the money.
Pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, forfeited all that. That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But also, like, it doesn't seem like he really needed the $100,000, I guess.
They didn't explain why he had that much money in cash.
I don't know.
Like, I guess they were paid in cash
I guess.
for the concert.
I guess. You don't get any of that money back, right?
No,
It's gone.
it's forfeit.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I get.
Way to go with the government.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why the government does that.
Yeah.
But no, I guess I don't want to have empathy for anybody who would like fucking do that shit. But like,
You don't need that much cash.
you don't, and I don't.
Literally, unless you're a drug dealer.
But it's like, it's one of those things legally where it's the same thing as like a hit and run, where like you will get in so much less trouble if you just stay there and deal with the police.
Oh, yeah.
Or just tell them I have $100,000 in cash that I got paid for legally.
You can do it. You just have to declare it, and you pay tax.
You pay a
on it.
percentage.
So,
Yeah, that's it. As opposed to
just
just
lying about it.
straight up lying about it, and then you lose everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But people are so afraid to just deal with the consequences that they go, oh, I'm going to drive away from killing this old lady.
Yeah, exactly. So
Bruce Jenner.
buckle up, Buckaroo.
Buckle up, Buckaroo.
And then and in numerous interviews, he has said he's been on MTV Cribs.
Yes.
And H Bomber Guy does point out that it was normally more famous people.
Yeah, if you
on Cribs,
because he's like you can look up the people that
also the
episodes
Cribs was on TV,
on television,
and you can look up all the episodes that were on TV,
like Snoop Dogg and Tony Hawk.
Yeah, and he's like people like Tony Hawk were on Cribs, not the guy who maybe did some sound effects for Tony Hawk's game.
Yeah.
Like, you're not famous.
Yes.
So it turns out and
also he's also like, MTV has a very specific style of graphics and a style of filming things.
Yes.
And neither of these
are present in that video. Nor is there any like branding to that effect.
No.
So despite the fact that the video on his YouTube is
uploaded as
MTV Cribs, although it's not listed as such on an old digital imprint of his website pre-YouTube on archive.org, where it's correctly listed as a gamer.tv interview, which is what it was. So I don't know. Close enough. Same difference.
It's same. It's all the same.
Who's getting hurt? And he was on a couple times, apparently.
That's true.
Why did he say a couple times?
I don't know why he would say a couple times.
To quote H Bomber Guy near the end of the video, why are you like this? He's just a one of the most like degenerate pathological liars I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this ended up being a very fun video. I do like the documentary that starts as a thing and then is like, oh no, this is the thing.
Well, it's like Tickled.
It's a Tickled. It's a Catfish.
Catfish. Yeah.
It's a third example.
Grizzly Man.
Sure.
Well, it's about a guy researching grizzlies, and by the end, it's about grizzlies eating human beings.
It's true. Nature's greatest predator.
You must never let anyone hear this. I would say you should burn this. Never let another set of human ears hear this. I must be the last human to ever witness the sounds of torment that I would hear from this.
I really, after that description of it, I really want to hear it. Sounds fucking brutal.
You're not going to.
I know.
I think it's in the Smithsonian. God damn. Like in the archive. I think that's the only where.
Are we going to rob the Smithsonian? Are we going to do a caper?
It's going to be a night.
Dude, when's the last time we did a caper?
It's going to be a night at the museum. The theft of the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do it.
Who's playing Teddy Roosevelt now that somebody got sad and did a bad thing?
I don't know, John Ritter.
You could be Teddy Roosevelt.
I could be Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I'm not badass enough to be Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, okay. And I'll be Remy.
I don't.
You don't
bring fat kids to the White House to beat them up.
you don't fist fight bears in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
He had a wild life.
I don't try to I don't do reenactments of the Battle of San Juan Hill at the White House where I make Taft play San Juan Hill.
Fattest president.
Stuck in a bathtub.
Stuck in a bathtub. Died in a bathtub.
Yeah, but he slit his wrist. It wasn't because he got stuck.
Dropped a toaster in there.
President William Howard Taft with the old teenage girl suicide.
If anyone's going to do it, it's Taft.
Uncharacteristic. So that's Roblox_oof. So thanks so much. Thanks so much, Olivia. I believe that brings us up to date with you. So feel free to drop Utopia Season 2 anytime. Keep it together, Andrew. God.
Well, you've been talking so long, I got fucking tired.
Do we
Yeah, probably.
call it?
Yeah, probably.
That seems fine, right?
Yeah, another
2 hours.
40 minutes is
Look,
going to kill us.
We didn't have another thing that we watched. Where tip? but we'll definitely have it next week. And after having done that next week, I think that gets us 100% up to date on requests.
Yep.
So number one, good for us. Number
two, bad for you.
Number two, bad for you. But thank you for all of the requests to help with, I think maybe even going back to having to buy a new computer, desktop, not laptop. If one more person says, "How's the new laptop?" I will just lose it.
How is the new laptop? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what you said, and I just heard you say my new laptop, and I was like, "Oh, how's your new laptop?"
It's great. Seb bills, Christmas presents, and all that for both of us. So thanks for that. You don't have to stop per se. We are in fact open to doing more requests. In fact, if the aforementioned Where Tib wanted to continue along the line of next week's, I would not mind continuing that series because I am invested in it. It has hooked me. As the first two did. I was like, I want to do more of this after the first two.
Hook, line, and sphincter?
Hook, nope. So yeah, if you want something done by us for you,
don't leave it that broad. I'm not doing a lot of things for people.
If you want us to do literally anything, $150 to paypal.me/NotScottHenson and tell us the thing you want to do. And the thing better be some sort of media to watch.
That's 90 minutes or less.
Comment on. That is ideally 90 minutes or less. We'll go up to 2 hours, but don't feel the need to do the whole 2 hours. It could be a commercial. That's fine. So yeah, we're not against money. And like, if you don't
sometimes I'm against money.
Also, if you don't need us to do a thing, you don't need to make us do a thing. You're allowed to just send money. Tips are accepted. The tip jar is out. There's like a fun pun on the front of the jar, like a thanks a latte or something. And yeah, so you can just send money to either or both of us too. That's fine. PayPal.me/NotScottHenson.
That's your name. Don't wear it out.
I was going to say PayPal.u/SarianSoftpaws. No, I believe it's also PayPal.me/SarianSoftpaws. Do not send money to anyone at PayPal.u. I don't think that is a legitimate domain name. Yeah, so now we don't have to discuss what next week's is because we know it. And then we will soldier on from there and keep fighting the good fight like Christine Baranski.
I don't even know what you're referencing.
There's an Emmy-winning television show named The Good Wife, starring Juliana Margulies, formerly of...
Noted cool person,
formerly of Emergency Room.
Yep. I've seen every episode of it.
Which was then spun off to The Good Fight, starring secondary character on The Good Wife, Christine Baranski. I think that's right. I don't know. If you guys want to let us know, obviously give us a call, 591-ROCK, 591-ROLL. YouTube comments, Twitter, @, whatever. Let us know about that. Also, if the middle half hour of the show was worthwhile or bad. I think I know where Drew's vote is. Mine's on the other side. So if you could break the tie for us, that'd be great, because I'm pretty sure I can find some more schizophrenic people on YouTube if that is a selling point. Or if you'd never like to hear that again, that's okay too. It's a free country for now. Until number 47 comes in, and 4 plus 7 is 11, but also 1 can be 19. Drew's ignoring me, so I feel like we should.
I'm looking up the good fight.
Oh, that's actually important. Let's get word on
60
this.
episodes.
What's that, about 3 seasons?
No.
Okay. Fine.
6 seasons of 10 episodes.
6 of 10?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Not you, apparently. All right, now let's go enjoy Night Swim.
Sweet.
I told Kelly we're going, and he's in.
What?
Just read his message.
Let's have a look. See. Drew's having a real time. Let's get the whole conversation so we have context. Obviously, we've got the Roddy Piper has AIDS picture. Kelly says, any time in particular today for group wiener tugging? Drew replies, I do like a good tugging. We're about 30 minutes into recording. This was a little while ago, so probably around 5 p.m., which is right around now. Kelly responds, okay, cool. Drew says, all good. Get your ass over whenever. This is just now, as we're finishing. Drew says, we're going to see 6 p.m. Night Swim. Kelly responds, ghost pool?